What's up, friends? Welcome into another edition of Rock Chalk Sports here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Thanks for everybody tuning in on the radio side, watching KansasNation.com, live on Facebook, live on YouTube as well. Really appreciate you all. Holiday weekend. I hope everybody is excited for that. We will have a show tomorrow on Rock Chalk Sports, so you won't have to miss out on anything. Still working on potential guest or two for tomorrow, as we've got a lot of excitement around the World Cup here as America is about to turn 250. And how are they celebrating? A fantastic run in the World Cup.
Oh, man. You know, America, you don't look a day over 200. You know, you look good for your age.
You do.
It's really nice. But, yeah, that's absolutely right. We're going to be talking a little USA, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Cup check here in the opening segment. USA on to the round of 16. So much fun. We were downtown last night and got to see a little bit of the reaction, a little bit of the vibes here on Mass Street, as we are on our state-of-the-art studio here on Mass Street. So that was fun. And, yeah, we're going to get into that, what went right and what went wrong for the USA, unfortunately, as they will now focus on Belgium, who somehow, some way knocked off Senegal yesterday, about an hour before USA kicked off. Belgium scored in the 86th and 89th minute to tie it at 2 and eventually won 3-2 in extra time. That's as heartbreaking as it gets for Senegal. So we'll talk about that briefly, have a word, and then, of course, on Monday's show, Dan will preview USA and Belgium, as that'll be Monday night. Following that, a little Chiefs football. Dan, I know that you've been itching to talk Chiefs. What are we diving into today?
I have been. I just want to talk a little bit about the depth chart, maybe a little bit about the schedule, too. Obviously, we broke down the schedule whenever it first came out, but so just some interesting things on the depth chart, maybe some places where the Chiefs aren't looking too terribly hot right now. Maybe give a little bit of predictions, maybe in terms of some guys, some dark horses that I like, maybe some sleepers who are either new on the team this year or maybe could potentially find their footing and make an impact this year. I'm interested to know kind of where the tight end room is kind of sitting right now as well. I mean, obviously you have Travis Kelce, but let's be honest, like he's taking a step back, a little bit slower, not a huge step back, but you have to think that that's going to kind of accumulate as well. So, talk a little bit about that. Just kind of go through the entire depth chart, talk a little Chiefs here in July. OTAs, by the way, coming up, I think so. Or mandatory camps coming up at the end of July.
Yeah, because OTAs was
already happened. So, but no, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, fall camp, man, it's going to be here, and fall camp also will be here for Kansas football. We'll talk about that as next week the Jayhawks will be in Frisco, Texas. 5 representatives will be over at Big 12 Media Days in Frisco, and we've got a couple representatives from Union Broadcasting, Sports Radio 810, and ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM who are going to be in Frisco, hopefully getting us a lot of content. So we're going to be providing as much as we can for you guys here on KansasNation.com. After the Chiefs segment, I want to talk a little NBA. We don't talk a ton of NBA on this show, but there's been a lot of news here in this offseason, from the King to Jaylen Brown. That was the big blockbuster yesterday, and some Jayhawks faces in new places that we'll update you on after that. And then after that, fantasy draft. We got to do one that's related to Independence Day.
That's right. We are doing a fantasy draft. We're drafting historical American figures to play football. Regular rules, as always. You get a quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Do we want to go tight end? Usually we do 6.
I like the tight end. Yeah.
So, okay, we'll go quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, running back, offensive line, and then one defensive player.
You want to go defense or you want to go head coach?
Ooh.
Head coach could be easy because there's any number of presidents.
That's the thing. Yeah. I think we go defense. Head coach is too easy.
All right.
Yeah, let's go defense.
Defense, I think
anywhere
there's some
plug and play on the
there.
defense.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, after fantasy draft, we're taking a look at KU's opponent on September 11th, the team they lost to in Columbia last year, and now it's vital that KU gets them this year. Hadn't played them in quite some time and had a big lead in Columbia, 21-6, before ultimately falling. So KU's going to have to pick up the victory over their rival, but we'll take a closer look at last year's game and, of course, the upcoming roster for 2026 Tigers. After that, cup check. Another cup check. Algeria, they're in action tonight against Switzerland. I hope this isn't the last day that we're talking about both USA and Algeria still being in the World Cup. Algeria, Switzerland tonight at 10 p.m. Yes, we've still got the flag. We're donning the flag. Did you steal my scarf? Because I haven't seen it. I know you went to the game.
Car.
Still in his car, so we don't have it. So there's that.
Sorry about that.
Would have been great. It's game day, but here we are. He just left it in his car. But you remembered your flash drive today for the first time all week. So good for you.
Yeah.
Big weekend coming up for you. You will not be here, not working actually tomorrow, Dan Court, right? He will be taking the day off.
That's right.
And yeah, he
will
reins. Get paid the same, but will not be here.
That's right.
So why don't you explain what you're doing?
Why doesn't everybody do this? It's amazing. Just take your paid time off. It's great. You get paid and you don't have to work. I'm going down to the lake. Sean's going to be taking care of the show tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. I mean, I love going down to the lake on 4th of July. That's become like a new tradition. I was never we never went to the lake when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And so like when I was an adult or like in college, like we would go to lakes more often. I was like, oh, this is fun. I know you kind of grew up going to lakes, right?
I will be doing the same thing regarding my PTO, and I will be going to the Ozarks at the end of this month.
That's right.
So I'm looking forward to that little family trip that we have. But yes, it's a fun thing on tap for you, as I know that you will be on a boat and kind of being chauffeured to different bars around the lake. And one thing we all know is for sure is that for the first 2 hours, you are going to be the most fun guy that there is on this trip. And then after that, you're just going to be feeling absolutely terrible. You're going to be feeling hungover immediately. The boat's going to have you nauseous. You're just going to feel awful for the last 3 days of the vacation. But those first 2 hours, man, vibes are going to be up.
When I get off the boat, I'm good. Well, I'm bad on. I'm not good on boats. You're
also
this.
terrible on the second day too. So it's
not,
like a perfect storm.
That's not necessarily
You're good
true.
the first day.
Yeah.
You're good the first day. Vibes are up. You're feeling yourself. You wake up the second day. You're just feeling awful.
Yeah.
You're hungover, and then you go on a boat. You're feeling nauseous, and then your trip's ruined the rest of the time.
It's the accumulation of both. I mean, for the bachelor trip, that second day was rough, but just the morning, it was about maybe a span of an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I kind of shook it off. I was fine. We went golfing, and then we had a great time after that too. But yeah, I mean, when you mix the fact that you're drinking the night before plus getting on a boat, for me, like anytime I'm on a boat, man, I'm just not good on boats.
Then why do you keep doing this trip?
Because I'm a people pleaser.
Okay, well that's true.
Yeah, nobody. Everyone else wants to go on a boat. I guess Dan's going on a boat.
I love being on a boat. There's maybe 3 things in this world I love more than being on a boat on the water. I mean,
your wife, your daughter, and your daughter.
Yes. Exactly. I think, and then being on a boat, man. Cold beer in hand, got the country tunes going. Can't beat it.
Right.
KansasNation.com. Dan and I actually were over at David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium on the southeast corner, to be specific, earlier today, and we posted all across our socials a reel of us giving an update on the stadium progress.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good right now. Starting on that foundation of the parking garage is going to go underneath all the kind of gateway area, if you will. So that's looking really good right now. They're making a lot of progress. The lower bowl is going to be done by the time Long Island comes into town on September 4th. Again, it's going to be a little bit of a construction zone. And, we constantly get people asking, like, oh, who's it going to be done? And it's not going to be done, but there will be seating over there. I just don't know what and exactly the upper bowl is going to look like. If they're going to put like a tarp over it, if it's just going to be open. I mean, we've seen this before. Vanderbilt has done this, and Northwestern, they were playing in a soccer stadium for the last couple of years. Mizzou, actually, they were doing a bunch of construction on theirs as well. So this isn't crazy. I mean, Kansas just never had to go through something like this just because of the fact that it hasn't been renovated since
God was a child.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, since what, your freshman year, so 1940.
Mine was so much better, and then you just made it worse.
Yes.
Like, God, my joke was so good, and then you tried to
but I wanted to make
it
you are the old one.
I
you
know.
are also old.
You've done that before.
Yeah.
You've done that before. Man, you need some new content. I'm worried about you.
Nah, old jokes are.
I'm worried about
those
you.
always play, but the stadium looks good, man. I'm anxious to see. I just want it to be done. And I understand, like, you can't rush these things, but it's going to be so freaking cool. And, they're already, I mean, you can see all the beams for the parking garage, the rebar and all the steel has already been erected. So it's been, a really fun time watching this come together and actually come to fruition, because, I mean, we've talked about this before too. Growing up a KU football fan, I never thought this would be possible. I just never thought, like, oh, there's going to be a brand new stadium. Like, maybe, some touch-ups here and there, but it was always going to be the Horseshoe, old Memorial Stadium with the concrete and the concourse and kind of like a Roman, Coliseum type look to it on that north side. And it's just Like it's just so amazing to see all the progress that's been done and everybody who's been involved and all the donors who have really put an investment in KU football.
Yeah, it's been really cool. And again, you can check out our coverage throughout the summer in advance of KU versus Long Island, and of course during the season as well at Kansas Nation on Facebook, at the Kansas Nation Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and kansasnation.com. All right, cup check time. Let's talk about the U.S. of A. 2-0 over Bosnia-Herzegovina last night. Again, it was really fun being downtown in Lawrence, seeing everybody check out the watch party. Of course, electric atmosphere and some of the local establishments down here. The big story of this one, aside from aside from USA advancing to the round of 16, is Flo Balogun getting a red card in the 64th minute.
That's unbelievable.
Disqualified him from the rest of the game. USA actually was able to add on because they were up 1-0 at the time, ended up scoring another goal. So, you felt okay about USA winning that one, even without Balogun the last however many minutes it was going to take. But that being said, you also have the element that he is not going to play against Belgium on Monday. That's going to be 7 o'clock at Lumen Field in Seattle. USA-Belgium round of 16. It's already been a fun run, but perhaps the USA's best player and Balogun will not play. Not a good call, egregious call, unjust call, whatever you want to call it. So many other similar situations throughout this World Cup have not resulted in a red card, but that was the situation for Balogun, and he had the initial goal for the USA, and now he's going to have to sit and hope that USA can get past Belgium without him, and he'll be back out there for the round of 8.
Look, I'm not going to claim that I'm the biggest expert when it comes to soccer, when it comes to what should be a red card, what should be a yellow card, what should just be like a regular foul. That was getting a red card for that was unbelievable. It wasn't intentional. He was going for the ball and wound up, catching the Bosnia and Herzegovina guy's foot, rolled his ankle a little bit. That's not a red card. That's a yellow card at max. And again, I'm not an expert, but to me, just going off of my own discretion, and I don't know, maybe that's a typical red card in soccer. But if it is, then they should change it.
Dangerous VAR review, which
soccer's dangerous. I mean, that was a natural play. He wasn't going for anything. That's like saying that should have been a flagrant 2. That wasn't intentional by any stretch of the imagination. Now Flo Balogun's not going to be here for Belgium, and it's so important for him just because he has been the most steady, rock-solid goal scorer for the United States, right? You have Christian Pulisic, who looked really good, but also it's Flo Balogun, who's your main striker. That's the guy. Weston McKennie said it was bogus, which, by the way, hilarious. Haven't heard that word since 1985. The Weston McKennie, one of the U.S.'s best players, has got that cool, red stripe down his head. He says, I think in this stage of the tournament when every player is important, I think it's a bit bogus talking about the red card. So I agree. I 100% agree. I think it's unbelievable that this has happened. And look, the U.S. is still going to be sitting okay, right? Because you still have everybody back. You still have everybody relatively healthy, right? I mean, Chris Richards has been playing really well. Tyler Adams has been playing really well. Bosnia and Herzegovina, I mean, they were a tough damn team yesterday. They were, it's kind of interesting where, U.S. had a couple shots on goal, and then after they scored that first one, Bosnia was just going after the United States. By the way, didn't see any yellow or reds for them either, which is, that's weird. Yeah, they were beating up on our guys. All of a sudden, Flo Balogun's going for a ball, accidentally clips this guy's leg. He gets a red card. He's out for the Belgium game. It's asinine. It's total BS.
Yeah. Sucks. And yet, as Pulisic said post-game, we had to dig deep for that one. Obviously, we put on such a good performance, and we didn't deserve the red card. But for us to dig in deep like that, to just get another goal and defend the way we did, took a real team effort. So, I guess it's a good end, but that's going to be concerning. And hopefully the USA is able to beat Belgium. But how do you not, if USA doesn't come out on top, think, okay, well, what would have happened? You don't want, in this situation, to go into any high-stakes sporting event without maybe your best player, certainly a top 2 player on your team. And that's where USA is at right now. You thought that the stars were aligning. You certainly thought the stars were aligning when Senegal was on the brink of defeating Belgium.
Yeah.
Senegal, the underdogs, you're thinking, oh my God, USA is going to really have the stars aligning and the Red Sea parting, whatever you want to call it, to get to the round of 8 to potentially face Spain. Spain, I should say, as we're pre-recording the show, in action a little bit earlier. That game probably just finished if you are watching us live right now on Facebook, YouTube, listening on ESPN Kansas City. But, of course, they're a monster, and USA wants a chance to face them or whoever it would be in the round of 8, and they're going to have to get it done, barring something crazy like an appeal that goes their way without Flo Balogun. So a lot to like, though, out of this one. Again, USA has just been so solid. They've been playing great soccer throughout, and they've honestly looked like a top 5 team in this tournament from everything we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, you look at Freeze and what he's done as the goalkeeper. He had 3 saves yesterday. There was 3 shots on goal, and he was so good at knocking those balls out. The U.S. didn't necessarily do a good job in terms of tilting the field, like kind of what I talked about yesterday, because the U.S. actually lost the possession battle. They lost the possession battle 48-52, where Bosnia and Herzegovina just absolutely took over that game in the second half. The U.S. tilted the field in the first, and then Bosnia just continued to maintain that possession and continue to get shots on goal. But, the defensive effort by the U.S. was really, really impressive. And, like you said, they're playing like a top 5 team right now. And, Belgium, I understand that they're coming off of a big momentum, pendulum swing for them because they were down 2-1 against Senegal. All of a sudden they go up 3-2 and within 2 minutes of each other. I mean, it's just unbelievable they were able to come back from that. And soccer, what I've gathered, is such a game of building off of momentum, right? If you start winning and you start playing really well, that's going to carry over, right? It feels like it's more of a mental game than anything else, where if you're on a roll, that ball is going to keep rolling. It's going to be kind of an avalanche. You hope that doesn't happen with Belgium right now, because Belgium, like we were talked about, they scored 2 goals really late. They're probably riding high right now. Meanwhile, the U.S., they're probably riding pretty low just because they know that they're not going to have Flo Balogun next time. And they beat Bosnia and Herzegovina, but everyone's talking about, the last time the U.S. was in the knockout rounds, they made it to the round of 16. Guess who they played? They played Belgium, and they lost 2-1. And, it was an unbelievable game that one was. Yeah, it was 2-1 the last time that they played in 2014. Tim Howard, by the way, had 16 saves in that game. Freeze is a good goalie, but Tim Howard's
I remember watching that one. It was unbelievable, the performance that Howard put on. But 16 saves, World Cup record, 90 scoreless minutes in that one, and then Belgium would score twice. Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku scored in the 93rd and 150th minutes, respectively. The U.S. would score Julian Green in the 107th minute, but U.S. ended up falling 2-1 in the round of 16, the 2014 FIFA World Cup. That was in Brazil. And then the other one, in terms of a game I want to reference, is back in March, USA-Belgium this year. Belgium over USA 5-2. Atlanta was the site of this game, and it was a friendly, but giving up 5 goals, which 4 of them came in the second 45. That was concerning, and now an opportunity maybe for the USA, Dan, despite not having Balogun, to get a little bit of revenge on Belgium, who, again, they've got to be riding high because they were down and out and somehow came back and won, and they're probably thinking, all right, we get to start a new one and see where we can go. So this is going to be tough for the U.S.
Yeah. Well, you think it's not in the back of their mind, too, that, last time we played the U.S., we beat them 5-2? I mean, that's got to certainly be in the back of their minds of, hey, we went on their soil earlier, and, it was a friendly. I understand that. But, again, Belgium has so much momentum behind them, and I feel like the U.S. still continues to do it. And it's interesting. I heard St. John talking on Sports Radio 810 today, talking about how toughness is not really valued in soccer the way that it is in American football. But the U.S. team is probably the toughest team that you see in this World Cup right now. I mean, they're taking all these hits from Bosnia, right? They're getting dinged up, but Christian Pulisic able to come back, and Flo Balogun's getting beat up whenever he's in the box, and nobody's ever calling anything, and it sucks to kind of see that. But the U.S. is just a tougher team, and I think that they kind of understand that as well. Of hey, you know what? We don't have Flo Balogun. That's fine. We got 10, 11 other guys who are going to be just as good. By the way, crazy story about Flo Balogun. Do you know why he has I don't know if I want to save this for stock market. I'll say it right now. Do you know why he has citizenship in the United States?
Why is that?
So his parents are Nigerian, but his parents were living in London when they were pregnant. They took a trip to New York while his mother was 9 months pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Getting back on the plane to go back to London, the flight attendant said, "No, ma'am, you're too pregnant to get on this plane. You have to stay here in New York." So they stayed in New York for like 2 extra days. She gave birth to Flo Balogun in New York City, which gave him birthright citizenship.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
That's one of the wildest stories I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to that flight attendant for not because you changed the course of history by not allowing his mother to get on that plane, and now Flo Balogun is playing for the U.S. and now he's our number one goal scorer, which has been really cool. It's such one of those weird stories. You're like that just is insane. And
for sure,
he's played on different teams before, but the U.S. kind of courted him, if you will. The U.S. was like, "Hey, man, you got birthright citizenship here. Like, you want to come play for us?" And Flo Balogun said, "Yeah, why not?" And so it's worked out tremendously. And yeah, he's been an awesome addition to this World Cup team, the U.S. men's national team. But without him, I don't know, man. It's so stupid. Again, should not have been a red card. If you have the chance, go back and look at it. And I think it doesn't matter how much you know about soccer. You'll watch that and be like, "There's no way." Like, there's no way that. Sure, you can call a penalty or you can call a foul, maybe a yellow, maybe, but a red card and knocking him out for the next game, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah,
I hate it so much.
It's a brutal call. It's going to be, in all likelihood, Ricardo Pepi or Haji Wright who steps in for Flo Balogun. Again, assuming that there's either no appeal or the appeal is unsuccessful and Balogun can't play. But yeah, that sucks because you want your best players out there on the best stage. I mean, it's like the 2014 NCAA tournament when KU didn't have Embiid.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, this is not how it's supposed to be. And, that happens a lot in sports, but it should happen when it's something out of your control, like an unfortunate injury. It shouldn't happen when a guy gets given a red card that should have been at worst a yellow. But anyway, USA will get done hopefully without him, and that will be the round of 16 at Lumen Field, USA Belgium, Monday at 7. We'll have coverage of that, of course, Monday as we preview it on Rock Chalk Sports. After this, though, we're talking Chiefs football. Thanks for listening on ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com. Rock Chalk Sports here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright with you. Let me tell you about Custom Lawn and Landscape, partners of us here at Kansas Nation. They've got a home insect control program that will help defend your yard from bugs so your pets and loved ones can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely. Right now, when you sign up for the season and don't waste time, your first application is free. That's right, your first application absolutely free. It's a simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your free first application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs. We're talking Chiefs football here, but what do you think of the rumors, and do you think it's true?
What rumors?
My wife sent me that same text the other day, and I was like, what? Apparently, Kansas City's favorite couple is potentially going to be joining together in holy matrimony this weekend.
Oh, this weekend.
Yeah,
oh,
supposedly.
What did you think of it? The news.
What did you think of the news?
That's fun. It was supposed to be like June, like 12th or something, right?
Was it?
Or I thought it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be that was the rumor initially was supposed to be. It was the week after my wedding. But then that didn't happen. But
Rumored
I did hear
July 3rd celebration.
So I did hear that Taylor Swift did rent out Madison Square Garden. Can't imagine that was cheap by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
I don't know. I figured they'd have it at like Maselli's, like you did.
Right.
But I don't know. Also, why the hell are they? Sure, Madison Square Garden, fine, but like. It's like mostly seats. Like, how many people are they inviting?
Well, here, let me tell you what CNN says.
Okay.
This evening, the power couple is expected to have what the sources describe as a rehearsal event.
Oh.
Tomorrow will be a larger celebration with some 1,000 people expected to attend. Extra New York Police Department officers will be deployed to the area around Madison Square Garden for the celebration, according to a law enforcement official with knowledge of the plans.
Okay.
So huge makeover
That'd be fun.
right now inside Madison Square Garden. And
Macho Man Randy Savage got married at MSG.
did he?
Yeah, and there was like a lot of people there. I think they like sold it out.
This is crazy. CNN literally has live updates of this.
Live updates. We'll keep you up to breast on all things.
Up to breast, I'm sure. Yeah, that's your thing.
We're gonna come in breaking
Barricades,
news.
barricades are out. Expected. You want to know some expected wedding activities?
Sure.
They've got. I really wanted to know what they're eating, but that's not on here. This is not as
I
much
bet
as
it's
I was
like.
hoping.
Oh, I bet it's
A lot of
good
security.
food.
I'll give you that much.
A lot of security. That certainly makes sense. What do you think Travis Kelce's gonna wear? Black suit, navy.
Ooh, Camila Cabello was seen in New York a couple days ago. Perhaps she will be in attendance. I'm just saying,
are they
paparazzi's
boys?
out.
Okay,
Paparazzi
all right.
out. Yeah, they're probably boys.
All right, fair enough.
That could happen. But
Congratulations.
yeah.
Do you think Travis Kelce will wear one of these silicone rings underneath his gloves this year?
I would think so.
Think so? What if he wears a gold one?
Who are the two most likely
You
players
need to-
of all time to wear their wedding ring? I already know who they are. Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
and Phillip Rivers.
Oh, yeah. Good one. David Carr started that.
Yes, that's right.
Back in the day. Because I'm wearing, I think I've talked about this. I'm wearing my silicone one right now, and I'm probably only ever going to wear that for the rest of my life because I do not like how heavy my tungsten one is. And I'm not crazy about it.
Why did you get it? If you don't like it.
I wasn't going to wear the silicone one on the day of.
Yeah, I know, but why didn't you get something cheaper if you're just not going to wear it?
It wasn't. It was,
Get something that you want to wear.
it was like $100.
Okay.
It was not expensive at all. And I'll wear it on special occasions, maybe like date nights, or if I ever need to dress nice. You know,
That's fair.
we'll see.
If it was only $100, then yeah, you're good.
It was only. Yeah, I'm fine, but it's not a big deal. Piper also hates wearing hers, which was a little bit more than $100,
Right.
and so that's like, all right, whatever.
It was
That's
$200.
fine. Just yeah, 150. All right, let's talk a little Chiefs. It is crazy. That I don't know. Still on this, it's crazy to me that you wear your wedding ring like while you're playing slope-pitch softball. Like
I didn't used to because I do have some silicone, but I wear batting gloves.
Yeah,
when I'm
okay,
hitting.
sure, but like still, you put like your actual glove over that hand too.
Yeah. I don't
Does
know.
it not
I've just
mess with
gotten
it?
used to it. Not really.
Good for you, man. I just knew it was just gonna drive me crazy. So this is what
Sounds like you gave up too early.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, just completely given up. Hey, let's talk a little Chiefs depth chart.
All right.
Why don't we? So I don't know. A couple of things on here. Let's start off with the offense. We can go to the defense first. Patrick Mahomes, is he a quarterback one? No, I'm just kidding.
Great question.
Patrick Mahomes
the
is
depth
listed
of the
as-
quarterbacks
yes.
is unlike anything that any other team has.
It's actually kind of wild because you do have Justin Fields as your second string quarterback, which Sean thinks he's a future NFL Hall of Famer.
Yes. He just needs a chance.
I just love Garrett Nussmeier listed at 3.
Yeah.
I kind of love that. I mean, we picked him up in the 7th round, so we'll see. I mean, he's not going to play anywhere, but he'll be a nice piece, I think. You hate to think about guys like this, but he'll be a nice piece, I think, to trade later because I think people will give him a shot. I think you could trade Garrett Nussmeier for like a 5th rounder, which in theory that's like a 7th for a 5th swap. Really, is what it would be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking like too inside baseball, but I like this in terms of the running back room. So you have Kenneth Walker as your starter. Right now, according to ESPN, they have the official depth chart for the Kansas City Chiefs. They have Emmett Johnson as the second string running back. Brashad Smith actually at 4th string. They have Amari DiMercato at the 3rd string.
That can't make you feel good.
I know. That's the thing. And I've talked about this, too. Like, I want Brashad Smith to just go ahead and full-on make the transition to wide receiver. You need to be that slot guy. I mean, that's what you're good at. That's what he's consistently been good at. He's not great in the run game, but he's really good in the pass game. I think he needs to make that switch right now. But that tells you that they're really high on Emmett Johnson. And, he's the second string right now, only behind the reigning Super Bowl MVP. I mean, you got to absolutely love that, right? I don't know. I like Emmett Johnson a lot. I think he's going to be I think he jumps over DiMercato. I think he's probably going to be a better NFL running back than DiMercato.
DiMercato has been an interesting cat because he's stuck around on an NFL roster, but he's never really. He had an opportunity with the Cardinals briefly when they had some attrition at the running back spot. But
he was fun.
It
over
seems
there
like
too.
there's something about him that isn't
Well, he's kind of that. What's a good way to describe, like a 4A or a
right.
almost like a MJ Melendez.
Yeah,
like he's not good enough to be a starter, but he's
too good
to be a backup.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. He has been interesting too, though. But I like the fact that Emmett Johnson's the number 2 guy. I think we'll see a lot of him this year. And then wide receiver is just a little thin, right? You have Rashee Rice. Who knows how that's going right now? Who knows if he's even going to be healthy? Who knows if he's going to have another suspension? We don't know, right? Tyquan Thornton's also listed as wide receiver. You have Xavier Worthy, too, who's also listed as questionable. Now, again, a lot of these guys are just probably dinged up on the offseason. They'll be fine. But then you look at your second-string wide receivers, and you don't necessarily love this group of guys, right? You have Jalen Royals, who we just haven't seen. Now, there's a couple of ways to think about this. Is number one, like, oh, well, the Chiefs were fine at wide receiver last year, so they didn't really need Jalen Royals. Or number two, he's so bad that they don't want him on the field. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you don't want to continue to draft guys at wide receiver and then you never get to see them.
I know.
I feel like that's happened a lot.
It has. It absolutely has, right? And, so I don't know. Maybe Jalen Royals will get some play this year. Also have Cyrus Allen listed as your number 2 guy behind Xavier Worthy. And then Nico Remigio behind Tyquan Thornton. Do not love that. He is not a good wide receiver. He is a good returner. That is what he should always do, is just return kicks. I don't like him as a wide receiver. And then after that, it gets pretty, I don't know.
Diamond in the rough,
sad.
Man. Jeff Caldwell. He's got the size at 6'5". I've heard good things about him.
Whoa. Also
over the
Jacob
summer.
DeJesus.
That's right.
UNLV legend.
Cal legend. Caldwell, of course, from Cincinnati and Lindenwood legend. 6'5", 215. Yeah, he's way far down on the depth chart, but that's a guy at least you want to look at.
Sure.
I think we're in agreement regarding the wide receivers for the Chiefs over the years. It's just been so frustrating. You feel like you can't, and I understand not everybody's going to be an elite player. But, I mean, when the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl, you had Hill, you had Sammy Watkins was your number 2.
Yeah.
And then who even was your number 3 on that team? We've had so many Valdez, Scantling, Smith-Schuster type guys. It's like, it's frustrating. And hopefully, Worthy will be a patented number 2 guy that you can depend on. But of course, there's so many question marks around Rice. Rice is a wide receiver 1. There's no doubt about that. It just seems like
Mecole Hardman.
Mecole Hardman. 3. So and then you have
DeMarcus
Sky
Robinson.
Moore and Demarcus Robinson and Kadarius Toney and. So it's just been, and I get it. Again, I'm not going to pretend like everybody has 4 DK Metcalfs on their team, but wide receivers have been a frustrating position for the Chiefs because you have the off-the-field issues with Hill and with Rice.
Yeah.
And then you just feel like you never really have the depth. You always feel like you're one guy away.
Yeah.
So who's going to step up?
That's absolutely true. And, you had Tyquan Thornton step up last year, but last year was such a forgettable year. Right? Because you were losing so many games, because you missed the playoffs, right? But Tyquan Thornton kind of was a nice bright spot. Now, granted, he's just such a deep ball threat where he can't really do other stuff kind of in the intermediate kind of areas, but I still think he's going to be nice. I totally agree. I think the Chiefs are just really one guy away, and you haven't seen enough out of Xavier Worthy either. I think you need to see more out of him for him to truly stake his claim to be that number 1 guy because you're going to need him. I mean, if the Chiefs are smart, they're going to get rid of Rashee Rice this year, right? After this year. They need to do that for somebody else. So Xavier Worthy's going to have to be able to step up too. Tight end room, interested to know your thoughts on this. Travis Kelce's getting older, as we know. He's going to be an old married man by the time this season rolls around. You have Noah Gray, Jared Wiley, and then Jake Brenningstool from Clemson. I actually know Jake Brenningstool's I played football with Jake Brenningstool's cousin, Pat Brenningstool, at Emporia State. But do you think Jared Wiley is going to do anything? And do you think Noah Gray is going to have more of an impact this year? I mean, Jared Wiley, to me, that's like a classic blocking tight end, almost like how Jalen Butler was at Old Dominion last year, where he played 3,000 snaps and had 9 catches. That's, to me, what Jared Wiley is, just like a classic, extra lineman kind of guy. But Noah Gray, I think this is going to be the year that he has to step up.
I mean, he's not getting any younger. He was drafted from Duke. I think he's 27. Yeah, he's 27 years old. He was drafted from Duke, and when he came in, it was kind of that we don't know what Kelsey's going to do, but we like this guy as the heir apparent, and he's just kind of been on the roster. And he's won Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowls with us, and been a solid role player, but you don't really know if he's going to be the guy after Kelsey. But talking about this year, Jared Wiley was a really nice player at TCU. Same kind of deal as at wide receiver as we are at tight end, I feel like, where you don't necessarily feel comfortable with the depth.
No, you absolutely don't, right? I mean, Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, I mean, you have your top two guys. One of them's old, one of them is, fine, and then you have Jared Wiley, who's unproven, and then you have Jake Brenningstool, who was a really nice tight end for Clemson, but I mean, just how much of that's going to transition over? He was on the Chiefs practice squad last year, and now he's on the depth chart. I just don't see anything from Jake Brenningstool to be like a true, replacement, I guess, for Travis Kelce. I mean, it's got to be Noah Gray, but Noah Gray, again, also getting older, which is really unfortunate. Offensive line, I'm not crazy about it. It's essentially the same guys you had last year. Josh Simmons, hopefully, will be healthy this year. Hopefully, will be dealing with everything. Everything looks good. I think the Chiefs got a steal with him. I think he's going to be like a future Pro Bowl kind of guy. Kingsley Suamataia, again, just moving him to guard is obviously the right move. He's a way better guard than he was a tackle. Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, two of the best in the business. Then you have Jalen Moore. Again, he was the backup for Trent Williams over in San Francisco, so you didn't really see a lot of him, but a nice player. And then you have Esapole and Chu Godric, two of the maybe worst tackles I've ever seen. I mean, they're essentially the reason that I don't want to throw a blame around, but they're essentially the reason that Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL, right? Because it was a completely busted, the defensive line just plowed through them that entire game against the Chargers, and whenever they were in Esapole and Chu Godric, and Patrick Mahomes had to scramble and then wound up tearing his ACL. Just horrible, horrible stuff. So you don't love the depth there.
Love
either.
The starting five.
Yeah,
depth situation. And again, there's only so many guys that you can pay a ton. You still love where the Chiefs are at. We don't want to be too negative about the depth chart, but you love where the Chiefs are at. I obviously love the depth at quarterback because I think Fields is going to be easily the best backup quarterback that there is in the NFL. Then you've got Kenneth Walker, and you feel good about the depth of the running back spot because we both like Emmett Johnson. You love Brashard Smith, and DeMarcado. That's so hard to say.
DeMarcado.
It's so hard to say. I remember him at TCU. I remember how hard it was to say that. But then Rice and Worthy, if they're both playing, you like that from your starters. I do think there's some potential further down with some of those wide receivers like Allen and Caldwell. Shout out to the Bearcats. And, Thornton hopefully can take a step up. Kelsey, I think he'll have a good year, especially because, you add Kenneth Walker. And then I like the starters on the offensive line, too. Everybody's going to look at their depth chart, second, third string, and think, oh, man, that's not great, Those guys aren't going to be playing that much. But can you survive any potential attrition? We have to wait and see. But, the offense, you like the starters, and just see if those young guys can take a step up. It'd be great if the offensive line meshes because I like the addition of Jalen Moore. And, again, like you said, Suamataia, much better fit at the guard spot, and Simmons looks great.
Yeah.
That's the most important. The 2 Super Bowls the Chiefs got blasted, it was because they couldn't protect Mahomes. Yeah. That's going to be vital.
Got to have the protection. All right, let's get to the bad news now, which is just the defense. I don't love anything, really. I mean, Chris Jones is old. George Karlaftis is good. That's fine. You have Kyrie's Tonga at your right defensive tackle and Felix Anudike-Uzomah at your right defensive end. That right side of the ball is not looking good. Now, you do have Omar Norman-Lott, who, if he's healthy, could be a nice defensive tackle. We haven't seen a lot out of him. You also have R. Mason Thomas listed as a second guy coming off the bench for Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I certainly hope that is the case. I certainly hope that he is going to be the one who takes over. You also have Peter Woods second on the depth chart behind Chris Jones. Now, to me, what would make sense is if you could move Chris Jones over and then put Peter Woods at that left D tackle spot and have Chris Jones at the right D tackle spot. If Peter Woods truly is what everyone says he is, and again, with Peter Woods, he had such a good junior year but his senior year fell short just because of the defensive scheme where he wasn't getting that many tackles or TFLs or sacks or whatever it may be because they completely changed the way that they ran their entire defense. So hopefully Peter Woods is that guy. Kyrie's Tonga, I mean, hasn't really proven anything in the league. He has like a half a sack in his entire career. He's played for 5 years. You know what I mean? So, again, I'm just not crazy about him starting at the right D tackle spot. If you can move Peter Woods there, that'd be great. And then R. Mason Thomas. But, again, do you want 2 rookies on your defensive line? I mean, how much are you willing to put into that? I don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't know how comfortable you are. Maybe you let them ease into it a little bit with some rotational stuff.
Yeah, as you said, just like you said, as you know, a lot more rotation on the defensive side, particularly up front. So you're going to see our Mason Thomas. You'll see Omar Norman a lot. Hopefully you see Peter Woods as well. I mean, Chris Jones, he's 32 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So he's somebody who's gonna need a blow occasionally, and they need to prove that they are worthy of being out there so that the Chiefs can feel comfortable not having to play Jones every snap and increase his chances of staying healthy, that sort of thing. But yeah, I like Nick Bolton. I like the linebackers, Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquil. I mean, those guys have been solid. And then I like the corners. I know you said there's not a lot to like, but you add Snead. That needed to happen. You feel a lot better with the rookie Mansour Delane at the corner spot when you have Snead opposite him, and then a couple returners in Gilman and Connor, the law firm, at the safety spot too. So, you know, I feel a little bit better about the depth of the defense, honestly, than I do the depth of the offense. But yeah, in terms of starters, I like the offense more than the D.
Yeah, I agree, right? You don't have the depth there on the offensive side of the ball. But yeah, in terms of the starters, like all the starters just make more sense. Whereas, I mean, you can even look at that as a depth thing on the defense where it's like, oh, you're so not deep there that you have guys who should be second, third string starting for you, like Kyrie's Tonga and Felix Anudike-Uzomah. Cole Christensen, another great example, playing that Sam linebacker spot. I don't want Cole Christensen out there playing the Sam linebacker. I want probably Jeffrey Bossa. I understand Jeffrey Bossa plays the Will linebacker, but this shouldn't be too hard of a transition to go from Will to Sam. And I'm really high on Jeffrey Bossa. He was great at Oregon. And then at nickel, you have Kader Kohu. I mean, you have Jadon Kennedy right there, another rookie. You don't want to be, overcome by rookies playing on the defense. But again, I think you got some really talented players back there. You just got to give them some opportunities to, work in, get a little bit more of that experience as well. So, I mean, the front part of the season is going to be tough, and it's going to be a really big learning curve because you're going to have some rookies who are going to need to come in right away and be those guys, and that's a lot to ask, right? I mean, I'm looking at Peter Woods and R. Mason Thomas and Mansour Delane and Jaden Kennedy. I mean, that's 4 rookies right there that I'm looking at thinking these got to be the guys. And, how much faith do you want to put in 4 rookies being impact guys, being guys who win you games, especially when the Chiefs are coming off of such a terrible year? I mean, I don't feel super confident in that. Now, I could be completely wrong, and these guys could be all-pro guys and Hall of Famers or whatever it may be, but as of right now, they're just rookies. We haven't seen them on the field yet.
Special teams, Harrison Butker, a guy that you had a lot of problems with last year. He struggled early in the season, really put it back together. And then Matt Ariza, who kind of, brought his career back to light and did really well for the Chiefs. Chiefs were punting a lot last year, so you saw a lot of Matt Ariza, but he's back. You've got Winchester as your long snapper, and then Remigio is set to be your returner, both punt and kick for now.
Yeah. They also have Rashad Smith listed as a kick returner too, which I do like. That
could be fun. But yeah, Butker, he has had some huge kicks for the Chiefs in his career, and
he just needs to figure it out, man. I mean, the beginning of the year was just dreadful for Harrison
Think about
Butker.
How many huge kicks he's had. Yeah, last year was no good. Last year was no good for really anybody.
Yeah, I was saying, think about how many huge kicks he missed.
But how many huge kicks did he make when we were winning Super Bowls? I'm just saying, like, let's not forget about that because, I mean, so many 50-plus kicks in divisional games and conference championship games and Super Bowls for Butker. But, yeah, I'm not pretending like he didn't have a good year or like he had a good year last year, I should say, because he struggled even in extra points. It was weird. He missed 4 extra points last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there was a point where I wanted him off the team because he was that bad.
Yes,
he was legitimately like one of the worst kickers in the league last year. But then, like you said, kind of, pieced it back together. But at that point, the Chiefs were already pretty much out of the playoffs at that point.
Well, hopefully you get a solid kicker. Special teams is important. We talk about that a lot. It's going to be September 14th. So a later start week 1. That's probably good for somebody coming off a knee injury like Patrick Mahomes. Hopefully he is out there at Arrowhead week 1 against the Broncos. We'll have more Chiefs talk, and we'll do a deeper dive on the Chiefs' opponents in the coming weeks as well on Rock Chalk Sports. After this, though, we're talking NBA, a blockbuster deal yesterday. Update you on some Jayhawks as well. ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com. Got to tell you about our new friends over at Meritrust Credit Union, partners of us here at Kansas Nation. Jayhawk fans, show up, pack the field house, and wave the wheat. When it comes to money, Ameritrust brings that same energy. That's because financial well-being isn't just something they offer, it's why they exist. Real people, local decisions, a team that actually knows your name. When you're ready to improve your financial game plan, they are ready. Ameritrust Credit Union is the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. Visit Ameritrust.org to learn more. Federally insured by the NCUA. Shout out to Tim and Jesse and everybody over at Ameritrust. We're so stoked for this partnership and can't wait to break some bread with them here at the Kansas Nation studios. We've got a great group of members here at Kansas Nation, and really, really appreciate our sponsors, particularly Ameritrust, our financial well-being partner, KU's financial well-being partner. All right, let's talk a little NBA. There's a big blockbuster yesterday that we will discuss first off, Dan, and then we'll talk about some Jayhawks faces in new places. But the Celtics trading Jaylen Brown for a bag of Doritos and a high five. I mean, just unbelievable that they would get rid of him. He goes to the Sixers, who, by the way, were the least likely team to get Jaylen Brown, according to many sports books, at 100-1. But
that's insane.
The Celtics trade Brown to the Sixers. Evidently, they wanted VJ Edgecombe. They end up with Paul George. So Paul George, the center of another big trade. And now the Sixers, I mean, they're going to be a top 4 seed in the East easily if people stay healthy, which is not a guarantee. But you've got Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, and VJ Edgecombe, who's already becoming a star early in his NBA career. What were your thoughts on this one as JT and JB no more in Boston?
Yeah, rip the Jays, right? Also, rip to Shreyas Lada. I'm sure he's not having a great time with this. Noted Boston Celtics fan. Yeah, this is crazy. Do you think Paul George is sitting back and thinking like, man, I used to be the one name? You know, because he was. That's like one of the that's the second dumbest trade in NBA history whenever, you know, the Oklahoma City Thunder gave the Clippers Paul George, and then the Thunder got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, another guy, and then like 5 first-round draft picks. Now it's like, okay, now they're trading for one guy, and then you also get Paul George and 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. How the mighty have fallen. I think the 76ers are going to be fun this year, and legitimately, like, I think if Joel Embiid can stay healthy with the 76ers, this is going to be this is the correct move for them. His
best shot.
Like you said, I mean, they have, you know, Tyrese Maxey. They have some really nice players, you know, kind of surrounding them. VJ Edgecombe, like you said. Also, Kelly Oubre, I believe, has moved on.
Pacers,
that's right. Kelly Oubre went over to the Pacers. He was a free agent signing, though, but it's 2 years, $17 million deal. It's not bad for Kelly Oubre. It's going to be weird seeing Jaylen Brown, but again, I mean, you look at the Giannis trade, and you have to imagine that didn't make Jaylen Brown feel good, right? I mean, right away they were like, "Oh, hey, we'll give you Jaylen Brown for Giannis," and then that didn't happen. And I mean, what are they supposed to do? Like, hey, Jaylen Brown, just kidding. We actually love you, and we want you to. Jaylen Brown's probably like, no, man, all right, go ahead and just trade me then. Like, just get rid of me. Like, he knows that he's already being. They're already trying to shop him around and use him to as draft stock or trade stock or whatever. But I mean, yeah, I think the Celtics got fleeced here. I mean, you have the 2024 Finals MVP. You're giving him up for Podcast P, 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders. I mean, he's worth at least 4 first-rounders, I would say.
Maybe.
Now, you have, but again, like Paul George is worth nothing.
Paul George was just a throw-in. It's about the picks, I'm sure. But 2 first and 2 second, it's not something that generally a team who's in the running for a championship consistently and has a star player in his prime and Jason Tatum does. I mean, what you do is you trade a really good player when you're a bad team and you try to get draft capital.
Right. I don't know why they're selling right now.
2016, and again, maybe there was a little bit of internal conflict with, like you said, the Giannis deal not going through and JB clearly being on the trade block. He was drafted 3rd overall back in 2016. He's been All-NBA twice, 5-time NBA All-Star, 6 times the Celtics went to the Eastern Conference Finals with Jaylen Brown. Twice they went to the finals, and then they won the NBA championship in 2024 when Jaylen Brown was the MVP, not Jason Tatum. So he's 29 years old. He's in his prime as well. Interesting, a lot of people are questioning Brad Stevens, who's somebody who I think has always been seen as a genius in the basketball world. He, in the front office with the Celtics, opts to do this. you're not getting anything in Paul George. So it's very strange. And, we have also heard that upcoming drafts aren't going to be as strong as this past one that we had. So you're getting 2 firsts and 2 seconds, but supposedly, who knows? Who knows on that front? Guys turn into guys all the time.
Yeah.
But interesting move
sense.
that, there had to be some sort of rift, I would think. And, and again, if they wanted Edgecombe, that makes more sense.
Right.
But dragging the price down with the Sixers, and they end up with JB.
I just don't understand what they're doing. Like I said, I mean, that was their finals MVP that they're just giving away for draft capital and Paul George. This is a team who's consistently in the playoffs every single year. I mean, the 76ers are the ones who eliminated them in the playoffs, aren't they? I'm pretty sure the 76ers beat the Celtics in the playoffs this year, and you're just going to go ahead and be like, all right, you know what? Give us a couple draft picks, and then we'll figure it out in a couple years. Like, no. You have Jaylen Brown, you have Jason Tatum in their prime right now. Now is winning time. Don't start thinking about the future. You have draft picks for the future. I mean, build around these essentially 2 key players, and they've done such a good job of building around that because, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I mean, those are essentially 2 wings that you have right there. So they've built around that, which is kind of hard to do. It's just a baffling move. And again, maybe they'd already made Jaylen Brown so upset because he knew he was on the trade block or whatever. But I mean, here's the thing. Here's the question. Is Giannis worth Paul George 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks?
He's worth more than that.
He's worth absolutely more than that. And they were willing to give up Jaylen Brown for Giannis, and they struck out on that. And Jaylen Brown already knows that they want to trade him away. So I think maybe the 76ers was like, hey, they don't want this guy. Let's try to go grab him. And like you said, the Celtics probably wanted Edgecombe. But, I mean, getting Paul George, getting 2 firsts, getting 2 seconds, again, that's what a bad team would do. That's what sellers do. The Boston Celtics are not sellers. It doesn't make any sense.
Intra-division, too, with the Celtics and the Sixers. So very strange. But that's the big one. Of course, we wait and hear what will happen with the King as he will no longer be playing with the Lakers. We think he'll go to the Warriors, perhaps a old super team there for Golden State. But yeah, you mentioned Kelly Oubre. He is signing a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Indiana Pacers. Grady Dick traded to the LA Clippers. Mm-hmm. So they have got some shooting now with Keaton Wagler and Grady Dick, but he is part of the Kawhi Leonard trade. That's the other big one, is Kawhi is heading to the Great White North.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe a straight-up one-for-one trade with Kawhi and Grady Dick.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, the Celtics got a lot more, or not the Celtics, the Clippers, got a lot more for Kawhi Leonard. But, I think it'll be good for a change of pace for Grady Dick, because you saw what happened his first year. He was really good, continuing to get more and more playing time, was seeing the court a lot more, and then by the end of his first year in the NBA, you thought, oh man, like this kid's pretty dang good. Like he's gonna stake his claim and be like a really nice player. Year 2 rolls around, and just the production completely fell off. He was not shooting well. All of his stats were down, and just barely got any playing time, which is really unfortunate for Grady Dick. So again, maybe a change of scenery is going to be nice. It'll be cool to see Kawhi back in a Raptors jersey again. I think that'll be fun. I mean, he won them a NBA Finals, so that'll be cool. I mean, Kawhi also is always injured and is getting older. He's 35 probably, 36, maybe somewhere around there. So he's getting a little older, but I think in terms of Grady Dick, you're gonna have 2 sharpshooters on the outside with Keaton Wagler and Grady Dick, and you got to have somebody to facilitate and kind of give them the ball. I mean, this Clippers team could just be chucking up 53. I mean, that Clippers team is gonna look like the Texas Tech Red Raiders from this past year.
Yeah,
just chucking up threes with no regard, just firing the entire time, which I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be. I mean, that's what Grady Dick is good at. He's such a nice high release. He's in town a lot, which is actually really cool to see. But off to LA, maybe the warmer weather will be nicer to Grady Dick.
Maybe so. We can hope that, because he was trending the right direction, and then it just kind of hit a thud last year. Of course, Christian Brown still with the Nuggets. He signed that big deal. Ochai Agbaji and Jalen Wilson briefly with the Nets. They were both looking for new teams as well. So we'll keep you up to date on anything going on that front. But Jayhawks in the NBA will always be front and center. And of course, Darren Peterson going to get a chance very soon, next week is the start of NBA Summer League. You've got Darren Peterson with the Jazz, Trey White with the Heat, Melvin Council with the Pelicans, and Zeke Mayo with the Hawks. So opportunities for those guys. Again, you don't really know what can happen in Summer League. It's not extended. It goes from the 9th to the 19th, and then Zeke will come back to town and he'll partake in the basketball tournament. But an opportunity, and we've discussed that a little bit, for these guys to showcase their stuff. And again, if you're going to have success at the next level, whether you're Council with your motor, your try-hard, your White with your three-point shooting, your Zeke with your three-point shooting, you got to do what you do. And KJ Adams as well, same deal. You got to be athletic, and you got to have best motor of anybody out there. He's going to get a chance with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Really, congratulations to him. I mean, that's really exciting. I was trying to look this up. The Timberwolves, I guess, DeJuan Harris will not be playing for the Timberwolves in Summer League, which is a little interesting to me. He's playing with the Iowa T-Wolves for the entirety of this past year in the G League. So I don't know why that's the case. I mean, the T-Wolves do have Trey Kaufman-Wren, Isaiah Evans. So I don't know. But yeah, no, look, we've continued. We talked about this, a couple days ago whenever it came out, KJ Adams. I mean, just talk about like a true like storybook. And I'm not gonna say ending because it hasn't ended yet, but like that's what dreams are made of. You know what I mean? Final 2 minutes of his college career, tears his Achilles, comes back to Kansas as the video director. Now, to me, that essentially was just an excuse for him to continue to get training and kind of keep him on the staff and get him back into the gym or whatever it may be. But he did it. He did all the rehab. He did everything that he needed to do. And now he's getting a chance with the Golden State Warriors. I mean, it's just such an unbelievable storyline for KJ Adams being able to do that. I mean, he means so much to Kansas. I understand that there were some criticisms of his game, but he absolutely loves this place. He loves Lawrence. He loves being a Jayhawk, wearing it across his chest. So, that again is such a great story to come out of this. And you hear stories like that sometimes, but it's really cool to see him be on the Golden State Warriors. But yeah, be sure to tune in to these guys, man. I mean, we'll be kind of following along as well, but I'll be sure to keep my eye on to see if Trey White can maintain the shooting aspect of his game that he had last year, which essentially came out of nowhere, right? He was shooting 33% from the three-point line for the entirety of his college career, then all of a sudden comes to Kansas, shoots over 40%. So if he can maintain that, I think he's got a great shot as well. Melvin Council is just going to be the hardest damn worker you'll ever see out there with the New Orleans Pelicans. Zeke Mayo, again, going to be a really nice shooter. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do with the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah.
Can't wait to see how they do. And, we'll let you know about it. If you can't track it on your own front, you can hear us every day at Rock Chalk Sports.
We're going to keep you up to breast.
KansasNation.com. After this, we're going to do a special fantasy draft in honor of the impending Independence Day. ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com. Crown Automotive on South Iowa in Lawrence, the best sales and service staff in the game. CrownAutomotive.com as well. You can schedule Volkswagen, schedule Toyota service, whatever you need. Browse their selection. They've got a great selection of new and used vehicles. Toyotas, Tundra, RAV4, whatever you need, they have got it. Perhaps a 4Runner, a Camry, whatever you need over at Crown. Miles Schneider runs the operations, and again, they're fantastic people over there. So give them a visit on South Iowa here in Lawrence. Tell them the guys at Kansas Nation sent you. All right, fantasy draft time. Dan, we are doing a fantasy draft, I think, of football.
Yes.
To a football team, historical American figures.
Yes. Okay. And that can really mean anything. I mean, it's kind of, up to your own discretion, if you will, I guess. So, yes, in honor of America's 250th birthday, we are going to be doing a football fantasy draft of American historical figures. I have the MIAA flipping coin here. This is from September 5th, 2019. The only game I ever got meaningful playing time in. Emporia State played against Northeastern State. I believe we beat them 45-17. I played in 3 snaps. 2 of them were victory formation. The MIAA is heads. The football player is tails. Sean, I'm going to let you call it in the air.
All right. Tails.
It's tails.
Okay, finally, man. I feel like I've lost ridiculous. The last 2.
All right.
I have no idea where I'm going here.
I think there's a clear.
So that's good. Yeah, I think there probably is a clear number 1. All right, but let's remind me of the ground rules. We got a quarterback, running back, wide out, tight end,
O-line,
somebody up front,
and then 1 defensive player.
Okay, well, there's a lot of options, but I mean, I think there is a clear 1-1 overall.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Give me George.
Yeah, all right, George Bush. Nice.
George Washington. And he's gonna be calling the shots.
Yeah,
he's gonna be calling the shots.
And that's fair. I mean, that's like you said. I mean, just a good.
I mean, 1-1
leader.
overall, right?
Yeah,
had to be. George Washington 1-1 overall.
Yeah. Here's the thing. How's his arm? You know what I mean?
That's true.
Plus, here's another thing. Because George Washington could not tell a lie. Does that mean? I mean, you just can't go RPO.
You can't go RPO.
He can't.
No.
He can't.
RPO is not an option
because he's not going to
draft.
He's not going to try to trick. I mean, why would he try to trick the other team? Because he cannot tell a lie.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, hey, he got it done when he needed to. He put the right people in the right spots.
Sure.
I think having control of the offense is something I feel very comfortable.
RPO wasn't the right. I mean, like fake handoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like he can't do fake handoffs.
No, it's going to be bread and butter.
Yeah,
it's going to be
bread and butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't lie. But yeah, I mean,
he's got a good arm.
The commander-in-chief. He's the commander-in-chief. I mean, that's what they call quarterbacks, right?
Yeah,
or do they call
commander-in-chief. Well, I know one commander-in-chief who's a quarterback, and that is Alex Smith.
Yes.
He was a commander and
chief.
He
was commander and chief. Yes. Mm-hmm. You're right.
Thank you.
I mean, easy choice, though. Everything that George Washington did as a leader in the Army, 1-1.
Yeah. All right. That's good. Okay, so I have two back-to-back here, and I feel like there is a clear 1-1 overall just because of the fact that and when you're talking historical American figures, and I don't know how historical it is, I mean, just because it was a while ago, but he only served less than a term, I believe, as a U.S. president. But he was an All-American linebacker at Michigan and led them to a couple of national titles. Give me Gerald Ford. Mm-hmm. Good linebacker. Also played center, I believe. Let's see.
Two-way player.
Yeah, standout center and linebacker for the University of Michigan, helping the Wolverines secure undefeated national championships in 1932 and 33. He was also voted MVP in 1934 for his senior year. Turned down NFL offers to become an assistant coach at Yale. Interesting. So yeah, I want him as my linebacker.
Yeah, these pictures of him at Michigan they go pretty hard.
I know, right? He looks kind of good,
right?
He's kind of a handsome guy.
This is great.
But he was not president for long.
No.
But still a historical American figure, you know?
He is.
And these don't have to be presidents.
I'll accept it. Yeah, they don't have to be, but we're 2 for 2. That's
we
my
are
concern.
We are 2 for 2. For my second one, so that's just straight up on my defense. So I'm putting him at linebacker, so I have no more defensive players.
Okay.
For my second one, I'm going to have to go with Honest Abe. At my wide receiver.
I was going to say you're putting him out.
I mean, just
another wide receiver.
Talk about a guy who can high point a ball. You know what I mean? He's 6'5", lanky, tall. Plus, I mean, the dude was a boxer and like never lost. Hold on, I got to look this up too. He's not just gonna be one of those scrawny little guys you throw out there for deep. I mean, he can get up in the middle and take some hits from some linebackers.
So he was a Ford at
boxer
on defense, and then Lincoln at wide receiver.
So Abraham Lincoln, he was a wrestler. Excuse me, not a boxer. He had an incredible record as a wrestler of 301. He only lost one wrestling match his entire career.
That is actually crazy because you don't think of him as a super athletic. You think of him as tall and lanky.
I know. But that's the thing. I mean, he can get down there and scrap with the guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, you get him over the center. He's high pointing those balls, and then yards after catch is what I'm looking at for Abe here. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be that's a no-brainer for maybe I should have put him in my tight end. I'll put him in wide receiver. That's still fine. All right. Abe Lincoln. All right. You get 2 here.
I get 2 back-to-back. I know where I'm going next, and this is going to be a shout-out to the 27th president of the United States, and the only one that I want protecting George Washington, William Taft.
That's good. Yeah, O-line, Taft.
Offensive line. I mean, I'm shocked that he fell to me, honestly, at 4. I almost wanted 2-3 for a shot to get George Washington, but give me William Taft up front.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I watched a lot of film on him. Now, mobility is not great, but in terms of keeping guys in front of him, I mean, he's going to be nice.
5'11", his weight peaked at 335, 340 pounds. Not great in terms of height.
Yeah.
I worry about that a little bit, but on the plus side, George Washington's not going to have any problem seeing over him.
Yeah.
And nobody is getting around him by any stretch.
No, that's true.
So I feel very good about that. with Taft as my
It's like
offensive
the K10
lineman.
bypass trying to get around William Taft. I mean, that's a big boy, man.
Yikes.
Is that
All right.
true about the bathtub thing where they had to like crane in a bathtub to the White House?
I know.
for it
I've
till it was
tried
big
to-
enough for him.
I've tried to
heard
Google that before.
That's like
I don't
a
know.
classic, like weird thing that you heard about William Taft.
Yeah.
All right. I have a. All right, no, you have.
I
You
have another
have two
pick.
back to
I have
back
another
here.
pick. Yep. And I'm going to my wide receiver position here.
Okay.
I'm going for speed more than anything else here. American hero, give me Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Oh, come on. That's
Benny the Jet, American hero, man.
What do you mean?
Incredible
How's that an American historical figure?
movie based on Americana, The Sandlot, and Benny the Jet Rodriguez is in the middle of that.
Should I veto
Give me
this?
him. Give me him. You can't veto it.
What do you mean I can't veto
He's an
it?
American hero. Okay, if you want to do a draft of presidents, you can veto it.
Well, this
we're
is
not
your
doing
American...
only presidents.
All right,
man.
I guess
That's
it's
lame.
up to your own discretion.
It is.
In
It
terms
is.
of what's
Benny
an American.
the Jet Rodriguez.
It's historical figure. All right.
American hero. Historical American. How did you phrase it? American historical.
American historical figures.
Okay, Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
How is he historic? Sure, I guess
he
the
dead?
movie is historical.
Isn't he based off of somebody real?
Unless he was like in the army or something.
I don't know if he's actually.
That's Bush League.
It's a historical figure. It's a historical figure, not somebody who did great things for the country of America. It's a historical figure.
All right, fine.
And
Fine.
is it a real figure? No, but it's a fantastic, fantastic.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Fine. All right. If we're gonna play that game, now I'll play that game. I can
Okay.
play that game all day.
All right, who you got?
All right. All I gotta do. Let me do some thinking here. I mean, in terms of American heroes or American historical figures.
Let me guess, you're going back to a president.
Well, now that you went Benny the Jet Rodriguez, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Historical figures. Give me at my running back position. Hold on. I gotta look this up because I can't remember this guy's name. This is gonna be. All right, here we go. Running back, historical figure. Give me Michael Johnson, former U.S. sprinter.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go Olympians now.
You went baseball player.
Michael Johnson at running back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this
Fast
draft's about
guy.
to go off the rails.
He
It
went.
is.
He had a 10:09 in the 100-meter dash. Did he win a gold medal? Yeah, he is. Let's see. Oh my gosh, he has 4.
I'm glad you're getting educated.
4 gold medals, couple in the 4x4, or he has 1 in the 4x4, 1 in the 200-meter, and then 2 in the 400 meters. Give me him as my running back.
Okay.
I would love
Whatever-
to see
whatever.
who you pick as your defender.
I know,
against Michael Johnson.
There's a lot of I am surfing the web right now for a lot of historical figures. There's a lot I wouldn't have thought of. Michael Johnson, yeah, go for it at running back.
Yeah.
Just take all Olympians now.
I might.
We could
He's
draft
a
all Olympians to an Olympian team.
American hero. Ooh, I got another Olympian on there too. That probably would have been better.
See, this draft has gone completely off the
This is
rails.
going
It
off the
started
rails.
with
You're
George
the one
Washington,
who,
and now
you're the one who took it off the rails.
if you wanted to do president, then we should have just said presidents.
We're going American historical
the
figures.
first 4 picks for president.
Yeah, but
I
then
didn't
that
take
leaves out,
one,
like,
and you said
Alexander
no.
Hamilton and
You
Benjamin
immediately
Franklin.
wanted to nix it.
All right. Do you?
You're up.
Should we change it to presidents and then wipe the last 2?
No.
Okay. All right.
Just
then
don't
this
do
is
any more
gonna-
Olympians.
This is gonna no more Olympians. Was it okay? I was gonna take LeBron James as my tight end. That's an American historical figure. Probably one of the most
I
influential
think-
Americans ever.
Don't they have to be dead?
He's
Somebody
making,
in history?
who
LeBron James is literally a current player.
LeBron James is the all-time leader in NBA. What, Sean?
Points?
In
Games played?
points in NBA. What? History.
Okay.
All-time leader.
He's not
in
no,
NBA
This
history.
is not. We should have talked about this beforehand. This draft is off the rails.
He's making
I think
history
it should
as
be
we
someone
go.
who is dead, or in my case with Benny the Jet, not real.
Okay, well, Michael Johnson's not dead.
Exactly. So that makes it a pick that we got to nix.
No, we can't nix it.
All right,
You
just
can't
go
nix it.
Just
That's
go on.
insane.
Just pick somebody now.
All right, fine. This is unbelievable. This is.
I mean, literally, we can.
This is going off the rails, right? Really.
If you're going by that, we can literally just draft. Like I could seriously.
All right.
I could seriously go right now, and I have a running back to take, so I can literally take Gale Sayers, right, and put him at my running back position.
Maybe. See, that's why I don't like the Benedict Rodriguez
You should
pick.
have said president then.
All right, then let's go presidents.
No, we're not changing in the middle of the draft. You're up.
What do you love me? All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. Michael Johnson is an American hero. He wore those gold shoes in Sydney. I think it was 2000, or maybe it was 96. Whatever. All right, for my offensive line, I'm actually gonna. You know what? I like this pick because I'm gonna go back to the presidents here. Back on track. Give me Teddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Offensive line.
That's a hard-nosed guy. His son was an All-American, I think, at Harvard, and I think he was also an All-American at Harvard playing football.
It seems like something you should know before you bring it up.
All right, look at this. All right. Teddy Roosevelt.
He's offensive
football.
lineman at Harvard.
Theodore Roosevelt. Okay, so he saved the sport back in 1905 because he put in some rules because it was so violent. So he essentially tried to save it because I think his son almost died. So he went to Harvard, but he didn't play because I don't think it was around back then. But his son was playing at Harvard. So, there's a little bit of athleticism there. But yeah, I like Teddy.
Why offensive line?
He's a tough guy, man. I mean, he's tough. I mean, he got shot, but his speech was so long that it was so many pages that when he got shot, all the pages saved him and stopped the bullet. He's a tough guy. Almost tried to get assassinated, and then he got up. He got up and then continued his speech. It was crazy.
Yes, I do remember reading about that.
He's a tough, gritty guy. I mean, talk about Bull Moose Party. Are you kidding me?
I know
he's a tough son of a gun. Any guy with a mustache like that, is a tough son of a gun.
All right, so I got running back, historical American figures. Give me Walter Payton.
That's
one of the best running backs of all time.
You can't do this.
American historical figures.
You're
that is how I'm going to win this. You said draft of American historical figures, and then I took a non-president, and you said no. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, all right.
He's dead, and he was a great running back, historical figure in America.
This is insane.
I want Walter Payton.
This is unbelievable.
I've only got tight end and defense left. So, man, I can go a lot of different ways. Let's see.
Sean Taylor is my safety.
So
stupid.
Let's see.
This is so dumb. We should have just done presidents. I didn't want to leave out Alexander Hamilton and Benjamin Franklin, or like Teddy Roosevelt, or Martin Luther King Jr.
For defense,
those are the American historical figures that I was talking about.
For defense, I'm going with Muhammad Ali.
Oh my
because
God,
he was very tactical.
That's unreal.
May God rest his soul as well. By the way,
where are you putting
Muhammad
him?
Ali?
Safety?
The reflexes, the ability to move his head. I mean, you couldn't hit him. Ability to move his head, and then just finish you with a pick six as needed.
So corner.
Yeah. So his lean backs, the control of his body, fantastic defender. I'll put him at corner. Anywhere on defense, there's no better defender in terms of historical figures than Muhammad Ali.
What's happening right now?
I've got an unbelievable roster right now. I've got George Washington at quarterback. I've got William Taft up front protecting him. Benny the Jet Rodriguez out wide.
That's not even a real person.
Walter Payton at running back. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
And Muhammad Ali on defense.
All right. Okay. All right. Fine. So if we're going guys who aren't even real, like Benny the Jet Rodriguez, you're done, right?
Yeah.
No,
then who are you going to take?
You have one more.
I have one more, yeah.
All right. Give me Paul Bunyan as my tight end.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me Paul Bunyan as my tight end. How tall was Paul Bunyan?
Why your tight end?
That's what I'm saying. Paul Bunyan height.
Okay.
As big as a mountain. That's just what it says.
Okay. Should have put him at wide receiver. Lincoln is not going to be able to catch anything.
Okay, so classic folklore says that he's 63 axe handles tall. How long is an axe
we should just call
handle?
We should just call this segment Dan Googling stuff.
So 12 to 36 inches. So let's go ahead and just say for the short side of it,
1 feet.
We'll make it 12.
Okay.
So that means he's 63 feet tall.
You hadn't drafted a tight end yet?
I hadn't drafted a tight end
All right.
yet.
See, I, unlike you, accept that pick. That's a good pick. It's an
So
American
this
historical
is- okay.
figure.
All right,
You have
all right,
one more.
All right. Who else do I have? I need what do I need?
I don't know. I am worried about my own team. You need to.
Oh, I need a
deal with your own
quarterback.
problems.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Googling stuff.
All right, my quarterback is going to be John Henry, who is also not a real person, but beat a machine in a competition of putting railroad ties in. Are you familiar with the legend of John Henry?
I am familiar with the legend of John.
He was a
Henry.
mighty man. He was born with a hammer in his hand. John Henry. Give me John Henry. I like him in my quarterback too. He beat a machine. That's a dual threat guy. He's one tough son of a gun, man. I should have put him. Oh man. If I would have thought about this earlier, my team would be so much better. Okay. All right, you have one more pick. I have a 63-foot tight end. What are you gonna do about that? Muhammad Ali's gonna guard him.
All right.
How tall is Muhammad Ali? 6'1"?
Let's see.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
How about he's 63
I have
feet
one
tall?
more, and it's tight end for me, and I'm going with Brittany Murphy. Give me Brittany Murphy at my tight end spot. That's as specific as I'd like to be. May God rest her soul. All right, I've got George Washington at quarterback.
Brittany Murphy.
I've got William Taft at offensive line, Benny the Jet Rodriguez at wide receiver.
She the one. Was
Walter
she in
Payton
Clueless?
at running back, Muhammad Ali defense, and
Brittany
Murphy
the
tight end.
actress from Clueless.
Yes. I've got her at tight end. That's
Why?
as specific as I'd like to be.
You're just not going to elaborate as to
I'm not
why.
going to elaborate. A lot of people watching understand what I'm saying. Dan Courtwright does not. She's a historical figure in America. There you go. This draft did not go as planned.
No, this went off the rails,
But
pretty
that's all right.
quickly.
That's all right.
Okay, did you already say who you have?
Yes,
Okay.
I already said. So who do you have? Man, we started. We really had something going, I felt like.
Yeah, we did. And then you know who derailed it? You did.
I don't know about that. All right,
I have Gerald
I wanted
Ford
the
as my
speed.
linebacker, an actual person. Abe Lincoln as my wide receiver. Michael Johnson, former Olympic gold medalist, as my running back. Offensive line, I have Teddy Roosevelt. Tight end, I have Paul Bunyan. And quarterback, I have John Henry. How big is John Henry? I'm going to look this up too. John.
He's your quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Henry size. American folklore, 6 feet 6 inches tall, 280 pounds. His massive frame and fabled strength allow him to swing 2 heavy 10-pound hammers at once. 10-pound hammers? That's not even that heavy.
The Legend of John Henry.
Yeah.
There's a
I mean,
cartoon.
incredibly large. Yeah, that's what the song is from.
Oh, that's
Born with a
fantastic.
hammer, born with a hammer, born with a
All right,
hammer.
well,
right
that
in
draft
his
ended up
hand.
being a disaster, but that's okay. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and for bearing with us here on our fantasy draft of
insane.
historical American figures in honor of the 4th of July. After this, we're doing our next opponent outlook for Jayhawk football as we look at Missouri, who Kansas will take on September 11th. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright back with you here. Rock Chalk Sports, kansasnation.com, ESPN Kansas City. Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment.
Oh.
Check them out in Lawrence. They've got a great selection of mowers, side-by-sides, whatever you need. Partners of us here at Kansas Nation, Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment. And shout out to Mike Hanna for getting Heinen on board. And, we are helping each other out, Kansas Nation and Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment. So appreciate them. Again, check them out in Lawrence. They've got a couple different locations, but the one local, you definitely want to swing by and tell them that we sent you over there. All right, next opponent outlook for Kansas football after we looked at the LIU Sharks yesterday. Missouri, they come to town on September 11th. Last year was really, really unfortunate as Kansas fell 42-31. It was unfortunate because Kansas led, Dan, at the end of the first quarter, 21-6. They had a pick six to get up. It was actually a scoop and score to get up 14-6. Austin Alexander had the scoop and score that ended up finding pay dirt. And then, again, 21-6, you felt pretty good. But Bo Perbula was really good in the second half. for the Tigers. They actually scored 15 in the second quarter to tie this thing 21-21. They had that really long drive that ended the first half and kind of ended it with a thud on the KU side of things. And then outscoring Kansas 21-10 did the Tigers in the second half. They're losing a lot of really talented players. Of course, Kansas is losing a lot of talented guys as well. Deshaun Hanukkah had 2 touchdowns in this game for KU. But yeah, they kind of let this one get away. And Missouri in this game totaled 595 yards of total offense. Kansas had just 254. That being said, you felt like you had a chance because KU was up so big so early.
Yeah, I mean, last year was obviously kind of a heartbreaker, and you had you had the pick at the end of the game for Jalen Daniels, and Brett Norfleet was a really nice player for them last year too. Bo Perbula, again, obviously a nice quarterback. It's just last year was just kind of that was one of those ones that you just wanted back. You know what I mean? You were up so much so early, and just not able to get it done, not able to move the ball. Their defense is really set and sound. And, I mean, if you look at their defense and what happened last year, I mean, in terms of they only gave up 12 total rushing touchdowns last year, which is really, really impressive. They scored 31. And in terms of fourth quarter scoring, Mizzou last year, they only gave up 47 total points last year in the fourth quarter. So, again, their defense is really solid. They step up at the biggest times, and they certainly did that against Kansas last year. But, they're losing a lot of people.
Before we get to that, though, can I say a few more things on the game?
Yeah.
A couple things during this game that concerned me, and I think were maybe unfortunate omens for Kansas football. Mizzou in this game was 10 of 19 on third down conversions. So they didn't get a third down 9 times, but then they went for it 5 times, and they got 4 of 5 fourth down conversions. They had 40-plus minutes of possession. Kansas had just 19 and a half. Those are something that we saw throughout the year last year. And again, you knew that this was going to be a good Tiger team, and they proved it. Everybody was healthy at this point. But that was another thing last year that really bogged down KU, was not being efficient enough on offense on third down and fourth down, and then giving up way too many conversions on the other side. Yeah,
I mean, that's such an easy way to swing that pendulum, right? I mean, if Kansas isn't able to convert on third and fourth down, and then meanwhile your defense is giving up, what was it, 5 fourth downs or 4 fourth downs?
4 or 5, yep.
4 of 5 fourth downs. I mean, that was absolutely massive last year, especially in this game. And that was really sort of the beginning of kind of understanding that flaw of the Kansas defense is, they're not able to get those critical stops whenever they need to, right? I mean, what Kansas in a perfect world would have happened, even if you would have stopped them on, 2 of the 4, I still think this game would have been relatively close, and Kansas could have wound up winning this game even if that's the case, because they scored on quite a few of those. So, again, being able to stop them on fourth down is going to be absolutely massive, and they got a lot of guys coming back for this year, but, last year that was one you wanted, and it was in Columbia, first time you played Mizzou in a long time, and it's such a massive rivalry, and I'll never forgive them for leaving for the SEC, for getting rid of this rivalry, because it's so much fun every single year. I understand that you're kind of on the flip side of that because you hate them so much you never want to even think about them. I like playing Mizzou. I think it's good for the sport.
I think it's stupid in the non-conference, but sure, whatever. I mean,
would you rather them come back to the Big 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and maybe that's where I haven't been clear. I would rather be in the same conference with them.
Yeah.
I was crushed when they left because that was the game that you circled on the calendar, and now you don't have any games to circle. Yeah. I mean, you have some, basketball, Duke, Kentucky, whatever it is, and Iowa State's good sometimes or whatever, and then football, you have some teams that you care about beating, I guess, but nothing was like this rivalry. And again, it's cute that we play in the non-con, and there's one more year of basketball that's going to happen at T-Mobile. And I believe 2032 is the next time the teams will face each other in football after this year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this year's, of course, going to be new look teams, both sides, as it always is in today's day and age of NIL.
And the transfer portal.
So we have to wait and see how it goes, but you're now going to be breaking in the new booth. Yeah, you've got Long Island the week prior, but this is the game that people are pointing to.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you get Long Island before that. And I talked about this last year, talking about how you had the Wagner game before the Mizzou game, and you felt, pretty confident about that, just like trying to understand who your team is essentially, and it's always going to be good to kind of get one of those quote-unquote bye games, if you will, right before you're taking on a team like Mizzou, so you're not going in just super raw, especially against a Missouri team who's in the SEC, who is consistently really good at football, right? And they have some really nice players as well. Yeah, like you said, you have Long Island before that, but a lot of people, their eyes are already set on this. It's going to be a primetime game Friday night. I mean, a massive audience is going to be watching this game, so I love that as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I do tend to agree with you. You know, it would be a perfect world, and I'm just going off, just spitballing here randomly. If Mizzou would go to the Big 12, Nebraska, Oklahoma, I'll even throw in Texas and Texas A&M if they were to come into the Big 12, and then TCU and Houston and all those other guys would leave. Wouldn't that just make sense?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Wouldn't that just make sense to you in terms of regionality?
It would make sense, regionality and old rivalries. But alas, here we are. They're bringing in a top quarterback transfer in Austin Simmons, comes over from Ole Miss. Dan, some specifics on some of the new players for Mizzou as we head into 2026.
Yeah, so Bo Pribula is obviously transferring to Virginia, so they're bringing in Austin Simmons over from Ole Miss. A nice quarterback, played behind Trinidad Chambliss, but is by all accounts highly touted coming out of the transfer portal. They're also bringing over another really nice transfer from Ole Miss as well in terms of their wide receivers. Caden Lee, a nice player over there, and they're also bringing Caleb Goody from Cincinnati. So a couple of transfers who are going to be coming in, probably going to be, their, kind of bell cows, if you will, in terms of the receiving game. In terms of the rushing game, they still have Ahmad Hardy, which he is getting better. And I can't remember if we've talked about this or not. I mean, just tragic. He was, he had a gunshot wound at a concert over this past summer. But apparently, from all indications, we have heard that he is recovering and, could presumably be back for this game. So, good on Ahmad Hardy and good for him to be recovering. Again, just terrible stuff. But he was a really nice running back last year, 1,650 yards last year, 16 touchdowns, 256 carries. I mean, just one of the best running backs in the entire league last year. They're also going to be bringing back, by the way, this is going to be maybe a jump scare, but Brett Norfleet, what he did against Kansas last year, he had 2 touchdowns for 76 yards. That was his best game by far and away against anybody. Was 6'6", 263 pounds. 7 receptions against Kansas. Like I said, 2 touchdowns, had a big 27-yard catch. Didn't really do a whole lot for the rest of the year. He had a 52-yard game against UMass, but then not a lot of production out of Norfleet. But he's going to be back this year for Mizzou. And again, when you have Austin Simmons coming in from Ole Miss, I think that he is going to be a really nice player. You also have Matt Zollers, by the way, who is going to be returning for them. So I don't know if there's how much of a competition there's going to be at the quarterback spot, just because Matt Zollers was there last year. So we'll certainly see kind of how that all kind of handles. In terms of their defense is really good last year, but again, they're losing a ton of different guys. But with the people who are coming over, with Goody, who came over from Cincinnati, with Caden Lee coming over from Ole Miss, playing once again with them. They have some really talented people. Now, their offensive line is going to need some work. They lost a lot of guys, but Caden Green is one of the best tackles in the nation. The other rest of the 5 are either transfers or people who haven't really played a lot. So, again, there could potentially be some, holes up there, and to get some pressure on Austin Simmons, I think could be big. They also don't have a lot of depth up front as well. This is a relatively solid team. Their pass rush was really good last year, and they came up with 30 sacks each of the last 3 seasons, which is really impressive on their end. The starting 4 up front is going to be a little bit different. Again, had to bring in some transfers, had to bring in some other guys who have been sitting down on the depth chart, but still going to be a really, really solid pass rush too. So whoever the quarterback is going to have to kind of keep their head on a swivel and, have the ability to flush out. But the thing that you like about all 3 of Kansas's quarterbacks right now is all 3 of those guys are relatively good at scrambling and kind of getting out, being flushed out, and creating on the run, whether that be on their own legs or getting out and throwing on the run as well. Again, a lot of bulk on the inside. They're also losing some other really nice players. Nicholas Rodriguez, he's going to be gone. He had 7 broken up passes, also 62 tackles, led the team at linebacker for them. Also, they're bringing in Robert Woodyard Jr., who's 245 pounds, made 67 stops, 2 sacks, 7 TFLs last year for Auburn. So they're going to be bringing him over. So, again, a new look team for Mizzou. Not a lot of guys that you'll probably remember from last year, aside from Ahmad Hardy and Brett Norfleet. But they're going to consistently bring in talent because they're an SEC caliber program. So, again, we'll kind of see how this goes. It's going to be at home. Kansas is also going to have a new look as well.
Yeah, this is one that means more, as everybody knows. So, Kansas is going to have to come out and play well. Mizzou has the 11th best transfer class in the SEC, for whatever that's worth, according to 24/7 Sports. But as we've said, they are returning a couple guys who had a big impact on the game last year. 25 for 112 and a touchdown from Hardy, also had a reception. And then Norfleet kind of provided the dagger for KU. He had 7 for 76 and 2 touchdowns. KU really, really struggled guarding him. And that's going to be an interesting test for the Kansas defense because, Dan, we're 2 years away now from Kobe Bryant, 2 years removed, I should say, from Kobe Bryant and Mello Dotson. And, you know, there were some good moments last year from some members of the KU secondary, but I think there's some question marks heading into this upcoming season because how many times over the last 2 years, including Kobe and Mello's senior year, did Kansas give up broken plays at game point or at the end of halves? You look back in the last 2 years, there were some disastrous ends of halves, and some of that was on Jalen Daniels and some of that was on the offense. But a lot was on the defense, just allowing offenses of the opposing team to go down and score at will and get an unbelievable amount of bulk plays. And that falls on the secondary a lot. And KU doesn't have Lyric Rawls anymore as a safety. He transferred over to Arizona State. Of course, we know there's changes at the linebacker spot. Great group of linebackers coming in. And it's great that Trey Lathan is coming back as well. But this has to be a very good year for Jalen Todd and Austin Alexander and some other guys outside because if you can't guard anybody, then you can't win games.
Right. No, that's absolutely right. And, you know, looking at the Kansas' secondary, you have a sense of optimism, I think, going in, right, with Christian Pritchett. I think he's going to be a really nice addition. Jaden Harris, again, coming over from Georgia, you know, played a lot at Miami. There was a lot of faults in his game, but he was still really young, so I think he's continued to grow kind of as a player. So you like them at the secondary. Keyshawn Cummings-Coleman, another guy, comes over from Iowa State who has a really high upside as well. Saeed Gibbs returns for Kansas, going to be nice kind of in that nickel area, if you will, that nickel corner. And again, if you're able to keep Saeed Gibbs there, then you're allowed to keep Jalen Todd on the outside, which, as we know, that's where a lot of bad things happens whenever you had Jalen Todd inside, and then you had to have somebody else guarding the outside. That's where a lot of the bulk plays ended up kind of accumulating, right? You look back at the Cincinnati game when they were able to go on that stretch after the Levi Wentz presumed game-winning touchdown, which was just incredibly unfortunate. But yeah, you like the secondary a lot, I think, for this Kansas roster. Again, Mizzou is bringing over some really nice transfers, so it's going to be a challenge. But I think with Jalen Todd, I think he kind of understands what his role is, which is going to be a leader and having to be that lockdown guy, right? He sat behind Kobe Bryant and Mello Dotson for a couple of years and, you know, really loved Kenny Logan. And I think that he understands now that this is his time to step up and really be one of those impact guys. Again, with Jalen Todd. Now, with Austin Alexander, he, I think, still has a bit of a learning curve in terms of being that number one guy, right? You saw some broken plays from Austin Alexander, but again, the fundamentals are there. The speed is there. The quickness is there. Being able to flip his hips, I think he has a really high upside. You really want to see probably more out of Austin Alexander than you did over this past season. And, you know, you have some other guys, you know, kind of on that defense who should, in theory, be able to stop this what could be a high-octane offense. Again, Austin Simmons, you didn't see, you know, a lot from him at Ole Miss because of Trinidad Chambliss, but you saw a little bit, and he is going to be a relatively nice player for them. You also, like I said, Matt Zollers. Again, who knows if there's going to be a quarterback competition for Mizzou and if they're going to be trying to figure some stuff out. But I think Kansas in terms of what they need to do against this Mizzou team is not allow the bulk plays, right? The secondary is going to have to be able to step up, have to apply pressure to the quarterback, find some penetration and take advantage of that relatively new, relatively inexperienced offensive line.
Border War, September 11th, Friday, September 11th at 7 p.m. at David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium. Hey, some other news coming out of KU Athletics. Legends Global was named the exclusive merchandise partner of KU Athletics. If you see on social media, Tay Kenny, Maddie Hayes, Reagan Williams, whoever it is, I think Jalen Todd was in there as well, showcasing some of the new merch for KU. That was announced just yesterday that KU Athletics and Legends Global will work together. The exclusive merchandise partner will be Legends Global. www.jayhawkoutfitters.com. It's a long-term agreement granting Legends Global exclusive rights to manage, operate, sell, and distribute Kansas licensed merchandise across in-venue, e-commerce, and brick-and-mortar channels. The agreement leverages the power of Legends Global's network, more than 450 venues, 20,000 events, and 165 million guests served annually, building on a proven collaboration with KU Athletics that generated $187 million in capital commitments from premium seating sales during phase 1 of the renovation of the new booth. Not too bad. So it's cool because it's a fan-led approach. That's one thing that Legends Global has is fans want certain styles, and you can see that, again, on social media with the variety of athletes. And, again, Legends Global, beginning July 1st, is going to be showcasing those styles and a lot of really cool things. Jason Booker, who's the Kansas Deputy AD Chief Revenue Officer, said, quote, "We are thrilled to be building a completely new online and retail shopping experience for our fans with our partners at Legends Global. Jayhawk Outfitters will be the preeminent location for Jayhawk fans to find exclusive merchandise with a focus on carrying products that are unique, deliver on quality, and bring a fresh new shopping experience to our fans. We are most excited about the build-out of a new flagship store in the Gateway District, which will provide a reimagined experiential 365 day shopping to our campus," end quote. This is something that you probably don't think about daily when you wake up, but Kansas has needed something revamped, and now they've got it. Because you've had Jayhawk Bookstore and KUstore.com and all that, but now, again, you're seeing the cool styles, and those styles will be ever-changing, but a really cool partnership for KU Athletics.
Yeah, absolutely. Legends Global, by the way. So apparently there's going to be a refreshed KU Jayhawk team store inside Allen Fieldhouse and current game day retail locations and other venues. The centerpiece of the partnership long-term vision is a first-of-its-kind, approximately 7,000 square foot flagship store in the KU Gateway District. So as we know, on the east side of the stadium, they're continuing to build the actual stadium piece of it, but the Gateway District isn't going to be fully done, at least open, until summer of 2028. So that's going to be with the parking garage and then all of the hotel and the actual Gateway District, the event space and whatever that may be. So that's going to be their first of its kind store. Is going to feature exclusive collaborations with Adidas and experiential fan engagements. Additional details and renderings is going to be announced at a later date. Jayhawk Outfitters, they're going to have a major presence at other KU venues, Rock Chalk Park, Hoagland, Haresh, all the different other things. So this is really exciting, and 7,000 square foot flagship store. I mean, you're going to have to drag me out of there without spending $1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, that's going to be really cool. So again, it's all coming together, and it's something that you haven't, that we haven't really thought about is kind of what it's going to look like towards the end, because it's been under construction for so long, and it's just going to be I think it's going to be a little jarring at first, kind of seeing it, because right now it still kind of looks like just like the regular parking lot, but they're digging down into the ground, obviously for the parking garage area, and then they're going to build up with the hotel and events and student housing and all these different kinds of things, plus that 7,000 square foot flagship store at the Gateway District. I mean, this is just, I don't know. I'm so used to just seeing renderings of everything that it's hard to imagine different things, but it's all coming to fruition, man. And then like seeing the wheat lights be put up on the east side and seeing them kind of close off that south side of the field. Who knows? I don't know if they're going to close it off, because right now you have the south seats right underneath the video board, if you will, but it's not touching the east and west side. I don't know if they're going to continue that, because that was in the renderings, if they're going to, expand that out. And maybe that's a job for a later date. Who knows? But it's all coming together, man, and it looks really good.
Incredible. And so many hours, so much planning goes into that. I can't imagine. But yeah, it's coming together. And again, check us out on social media. We posted something a little bit earlier today, and we will continue to post updates. David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium. Hey, after this, we're going to close it out with another Cup Check.
Cup Check.
Algeria. That's next. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Well, we got to preview the game taking place up in Vancouver, Switzerland and Algeria. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Central Bank. Central Bank is the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas. They're committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life, whether you're a KU student or just somebody who supports the Jayhawks. You can check out the new Jayhawk debit card, Jayhawk Checking from Central Bank. You can learn more about Jayhawk Checking and that exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. Jayhawkchecking.com, Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, member FDIC. Dan, how cool was it seeing the videos of Algeria leaving Lawrence? Of course, you had all the excitement after they clinched their spot in the round of 32. And then, a little bit earlier in the week, they left Lawrence. Now they're in Vancouver, hoping to extend their stay in the World Cup as they will take on Switzerland.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, right? I mean, just kind of seeing all the Algerian fans all around downtown. I mean, we've talked to a ton of them, and they are just so friendly. Consistently just the absolute best, and it's been just kind of this perfect marriage of this massive country in Africa coming over. They probably never even heard of Lawrence, Kansas before. They come in and they're just incredibly shocked and about how nice the town is, how welcoming that Lawrence has been, and it's been such an amazing thing. That's one of my favorite things about Lawrence is that it's just such a cool town, man, and they're going to be involved in literally everything. I mean, you had the watch party yesterday out on Mass Street that I was at, taking some videos and pictures. The Mass Street was absolutely packed. Red Lion was absolutely packed with people because that's the soccer bar here in town. So it was a lot of fun. Now it's going to be tough, and Algeria has now officially left Lawrence. I actually just literally, not even kidding you, saw an Algerian jersey walking by. That could be a Lawrence native, or it could be some Algerian fans. Who knows? But the game's going to be going on in Vancouver. It'll be a lot of fun. Switzerland is a really nice team. I mean, they had the slip up against Qatar early, but still a really solid team. As we know, they're going to be really fast. They have some really nice strikers as well. Right now, Switzerland is 13 places above Algeria in terms of the World Cup rankings. So we'll see how that goes. It's unfortunate because I feel like Algeria had such an advantage playing two of their games in group stage in Kansas City, because you had so many Algerian fans here based in Kansas City. And again, I don't know if that was just sheer dumb luck or if they knew beforehand or whatever it may be. But I mean, like I said, there were 75% Algerian fans in the game against Austria. You had a lot of Argentina fans in the first game in Kansas City, which that was to be expected. I mean, Messi is the biggest name in the entire world right now. But again, Algerian fans have been so incredible, and I'm sure they're going to be traveling up to Vancouver for this game. Switzerland, again, is a really, really nice opponent, and I want to say Switzerland has not made it past the round of 16 since 1950. Let me look this up. I had it right here. It's been since 1954, I want to say is what it was. 1954. Wow, look at me. Gosh, I'm so good with dates. Switzerland has not reached the quarterfinals since 1954. Algeria has never made it beyond the round of 16 before. So this could be potentially massive for Algeria. Their goalkeeper has been incredible, all World Cup long. And then Riyad Mahrez with the brace against Austria. I mean, he's been on an absolute tear so far. One of the best players in the EPL right now. So it's not out of realm possibility that Algeria can really give this a shot.
Well, according to DraftKings, they've got a decent shot. They're just plus 185.
Wow.
As Switzerland is minus 235. And of course, there's a money line for the first 90 minutes as well. Switzerland's minus 110. Algeria is plus 370, and a draw is plus 235. Then, of course, you've got potential extra time. Should it get penalty kicks? Who knows? But Riyad Mahrez, he's plus 340 to score a goal. And I know that you're interested in the plus 3,000 to score 2 or more goals for Riyad Mahrez. But yeah, he's kind of become that guy. It's just been so fun, and seeing the guys when they were here in Lawrence go to Allen Fieldhouse and Hoagland Ballpark and the booth and get a chance to experience Kansas City. We're seeing all sorts of stuff from Algeria fans talking about how much they love Lawrence and Kansas City. So if you don't follow us, Kansas Nation on Facebook, at the Kansas Nation, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, go follow us, because there are one comment after another of Algerian fans,
so
Algerian
awesome.
supporters, Algerian locals who are commenting not just on the stuff that we post about Algeria, but on everything, just about how much they love Lawrence and how much they felt welcome in the Kansas City area. And I'm glad they got 2 games at Arrowhead, because they were successful, of course, in the second one and picking up that victory and advancing to the round of 32. I guess it was a victory in a way, even though it was a draw. But yeah, it was just so fun. And again, hopefully it's not the last time that Algeria and Lawrence, Kansas can come together, because it was a fun 3 weeks. And yeah, should they win, it'll continue to be a blast to track them and support them throughout the World Cup.
I need to make a trip over there. Algiers, is that the I think Algiers is the capital of Algeria.
Really?
I think that's the city that's the capital of Algeria. So I need to make my way over there. Am I right about this?
Algiers, located on the Mediterranean coast.
Yeah, it's right there, man. I'm going to Italy this summer. Maybe I can just a little hop, skip, and a jump over to Algeria.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why not? Make a little visit. But I mean, I'm never gonna forget this. You know what I mean? Like it's been so cool, and you never really even thought about Algeria, growing up, and having this once in a lifetime experience with Algeria being based here in Lawrence has just been so interesting. And I have my Rock Chalk Algeria shirt that I'm gonna wear all the time. I'm gonna wear it on Monday's show. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Wear my Rock Chalk Algeria shirt. Even if they win, if they lose, doesn't matter. It still has been so much fun. Just kind of ingratiating ourselves in their culture and them ingratiating themselves in our culture. Am I using that word right? Ingratiate?
You've said it before, so I certainly hope so.
Sure.
By the way, I do from you to use a word that you don't know.
I do have an update. It's quoted in the Associated Press. Law enforcement officials confirmed Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding Friday.
There
MSG.
we go. God, no invite for us.
Yeah, it must be lost in the mail. I mean, you know how the mail is.
Round of 16 as we close out our cup check here. Paraguay, of course, they got that upset victory over Germany. They will take on France, who's a heavy favorite. That's going to be on the 4th of July at 4. On the 4th of July at noon, it's going to be Canada and Morocco, one of the few African nations who's had success so far. So hopefully Algeria can do that. USA, Belgium is July 6th at 7, as we discussed a little bit earlier. And then July 5th, a couple games, Norway and Brazil. That game is looked at as close to a coin flip, as is Mexico, England. Mexico has had a fantastic run in this World Cup as well. England survived Democratic Republic of the Congo. I mean, they were down 1-0. Harry Kane scores the next 2 goals, and England is on to the round of 16. They'll take on Mexico. And right now, there are 6 spots remaining in the round of 16. Algeria has an opportunity to do just that, and hopefully they get it done. Again, plus 185 to knock off the Swiss. That would be a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. And you like the matchups too, right? I mean, Colombia and Ghana, they essentially take on
Kansas City.
Yeah, in Kansas City. So they're going to be taking on the winner of Colombia and Ghana. So, when you look at it from that aspect, you go, okay, man, I mean, this is a legitimate shot, right? They don't have to go up against, Algeria or England or Brazil or any of the big boys, in the next round. So hopefully Algeria can make it to their first ever quarterfinal in the history of the World Cup.
Yeah, USA had a great night last night, and now they focus on Belgium Monday, but we'll be rooting for Algeria tonight at 10 p.m. I'll be breaking that down tomorrow on Rock Chalk Sports. For our technical director, Elisha Schmidt, and Dan Courtwright, Sean Kellerman saying thanks for joining us for 2 full hours of Rock Chalk Sports on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com.